revenue.
Yes.
You agree with that? So I stand with you in your opposition to new gambling in Minnesota. The debate whether we in Minnesota will seriously address our spending and budget challenges, or are we going to succumb to the siren song of the easy gambling revenue. I believe we must squarely face our budget problems to make the necessary choices that will get Minnesota back on track financially. This is the only way to ensure that Minnesota returns to the prosperity that we all want. Finally, today, now that I know that you're here, you're asking the legislature to not expand gambling. You're asking something of us. I'd also like to ask something of you, and that very simply is that we want to make sure we keep this debate about gambling on a very high plane. The people that are opposing us are fairly honorable people. They're going to be our allies in a lot of things we do in the future. So we want to keep that debate on the even keel, and the facts are on our side. We can win this debate with the facts on our side. I feel confident we're going to win here in Minnesota on this, and Minnesota will be better for it, and I want to thank you again for coming out today. Rural jobs are important too.
Let's hear it again from Representative Crawford. I had the pleasure of serving with many great people here that fought for jobs and still are, who have the courage to stay here regardless of a lot of the time they spend. I'd like to bring up my friend Tim Mahoney, State Representative St. Paul.
I guess it took a couple thousand people to get them back here. Thank you for bringing them back. You know, a lot of things have been said here today. 40,000 jobs are a real important part to the economy of the state of Minnesota. We would not put together special legislation that would put in competition with any other business that provides 40,000 good-paying, strong, long-term jobs. We would not do that in this state, and I don't understand why we are doing it today. There's nothing that says we should take your job away from you. This casino gambling, the industry of casino gambling has provided more jobs, better jobs for rural Minnesota than any other economic engine that we have put forth so far. The nations of this state that have casino gambling have shared their profits with many, many others of the nations. How many more are going to college? How many more have health care? How many more have good housing finally? Representative Crawford is correct. We have to keep this debate on an honorable, on a high plane. But a high plane means a good job, good health care, good education. This is a fight that we can win, and we're going to win it. So thank you for coming out today. Let's keep up the fight. Let's do it all. Thank you all for coming.
Representative Mahoney. A lot of our legislative friends are stopping by. My friend from Bemidji, he lives in St. Louis Park, but he's really from Bemidji. Representative Ryan Winkler's here. And if there's other legislators that I haven't recognized, if you come up and see me, and at least we can point you out, that'd be great. I saw the House Minority Leader, who may be the Majority Leader soon, House Minority Leader Paul Thiessen, that was a bipartisan event, excuse me, Representative Paul Thiessen, Minority Leader here from Minneapolis. Give him a round of applause.
Well, thank you all for being here. I want to echo what other people have said and let you know how important it is that you're here and making your voice part of this discussion today. You know, with over 200,000 Minnesotans still out of work, and a lot of families very nervous about their economic prospects, our top priority has to be maintaining and preserving jobs that we do have that give people all across our state dignity and a paycheck. That's what our number one is. The GOP, the Republican majority, has spent most of their time this session doing exactly the opposite. Slashing jobs, mostly in the private sector, with their budget proposals. Now, with their proposal on the Racino and other gambling initiatives, they want to toss away hundreds of more good-paying jobs that are already in our communities on a wish and a prayer that another as yet undefined government jobs program is going to work. That absolutely makes no sense. You know, we shouldn't be surprised because this Republican budget has been built on wishes and hopes and denial of history and blind adherence to repeating the failures of this past. We have seen these proposals year after year after year. It's time that we say enough is enough. And we also need a governing philosophy that's actually based on uniting the people of Minnesota and not dividing Minnesotans against other Minnesotans. Here's the deal. Indian gaming provides great, good-paying jobs in communities that need them. Hard-hit places like Beltrami County and Pine County. Why are we going to go after good jobs in those types of places where we need them and trade them for the hope that there's going to be other jobs that may appear in places that need them less in the future? Why are we going after good-paying jobs that pay for health care, that pay for colleges and other benefits, jobs you can raise a family on? Why are they going after the jobs in this state that support not just Native Americans, not just Indians, but non-Indians, and well, in fact, more non-Indians than Native Americans? Why are we doing that? It doesn't make sense. My colleagues and I, who have been up here and in our House caucus, will stand with you for good-paying jobs that exist now. We need an actual job strategy in this state and not just another wish and a prayer. I thank you for being here today.
Enough of that?
Yeah, I gotta go on to the next.
Thanks again for Representative Paul Thiessen.
Got it? You got everything?
Yeah. I don't see any bad weather, do you? It's not going to keep us, no, not at all. It's not going to keep us from fighting for jobs. I want to thank a couple other entities that came out today. PCL Construction, who does a lot of work, a lot of money goes to them. They employ a lot of people. We're very grateful for them coming out here today. Let's hear it for PCL Construction. Also behind us, you'll see the mobile unit from Minnewacan and Shakopee. This travels all over the state of Minnesota, providing medical services to thousands of Minnesotans who wouldn't otherwise have it. Also the Central Command Unit for after natural disasters and all sorts of races, other things that they provide this free of service. Let's hear a big round of applause for the mobile unit. Minnewacan also supplies all the state patrol, many of the police units around the state of Minnesota with defibrillator units, free of charge. Hundreds of these units all over the state of Minnesota. Donation from Minnewacan, and let's thank them for doing that. Before we bring up the next speaker too, I see there's people here from all over the state. I just want to take a minute for you to introduce yourselves to get some attention here. I'm gonna say your band, our reservation. I want that group of people to scream as loud as you can. All right, make sure everybody knows that you're here. Okay, so we'll start with Fond du Lac. How many of you here are from Fond du Lac? Let's hear it for Fond du Lac. Where are they? I know they're here. Fond du Lac, where are they? Over here, there you go. Fond du Lac's behind me. How about Prairie Island? How many of you? I know there's some people here from Shakopee, Minnewacan. How about Boys Sport? How many drove down from Boys Sport? They're right over here. There you go. My former reservation, Leech Lake. Where are the Leech Lakers? I know they're here. There they are. Good to see you guys. Lower Sioux Indian Community. Where are they? Come back here. got to be a few of you. You guys drove even a few more miles than I did. Well, let's hear it for Grand Portage. Red Lake Nation. How about Red Lake Nation? Oh, you're scattered everywhere. A lot of Red Lakers here. White Earth. Anybody here from White Earth? A few back there. Thanks for making the trip down. Oh, my friend. Yeah, my friend Lyle Coonan represents Upper Sioux, and he says Lower Sioux is very close and near and dear to his heart too. Representative Lyle Coonan.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to say too, thank you all for taking the time to make the trip to St. Paul to be here today. Your voice is very important, and being here in person, of course, is very important as far as getting your voice heard. I understand these jobs are very important, and to each of you as individuals, of course, but also to the communities in which you live. These are good jobs, steady work, and I know in my part of the state, they're relative to a lot of jobs that are available, they're very good jobs too. But anyway, I know that there are lobbyists here working on your behalf, and they do a good job, and what they do is very important. But it's as far as getting your voice heard and getting the attention of those of us that are here in St. Paul representing you, being here in person is very, very important, and I want to thank you for doing that today.
Today, I am not from the Mille Lacs band, but I work at Grand Casino. You know, my job just isn't any job, it's a great job. How many of you have great jobs? Let me ask you again, how many of you have great jobs? That's right. You know, for nearly 20 years, I've had opportunities in rural Minnesota. Those opportunities didn't exist when I was growing up there. I've been paid a good wage, and I've received great health benefits. A couple of years ago, my family went through a very serious and major medical crisis. I remember sitting at the kitchen table, talking to my dad and saying, you know, there's a lot of bills that are going to be coming in. How am I going to handle that? But more than that fear and that uncertainty, I remember the shock and the relief when I learned that my company health benefits covered almost everything. That's right, without a job, you don't have those benefits. My job means the world to me. Does your job mean the world to you? That's right, let's tell these people inside that building that our jobs mean the world to us. I wish all of you could be standing right here where I'm standing, even though the rain is coming down and you're cold. It's so inspiring to see all of you out here with passion fighting for our jobs. Thank you so much for coming today, and thanks for listening to my story. I'm here to introduce Robbie Sawyer, one of my fellow associates.
Hello everybody, my name is Robbie. I'm here because I'm a 15-year associate at Grand Casino Hinckley, and I oppose gaming expansion. I grew up in a small town, Moose Lake, 30 miles north of Hinckley. I remember as a young kid, Pine County was near the bottom of the state in employment and also household income. It isn't that way anymore. I've always thought I would have to move away from that area that I've always called home to find employment that was comfortable for a family. But that changed when I started working for Grand Casino Hinckley. I found great opportunity. I was able to get a good job. My wife has a great job, and most important to us, we've been able to keep our family in the area we love. Grand Casino takes care of us. The casino provides my family with medical and dental coverage, 401k, paid time off, And these benefits are better than any employer in our region. If the casino were to open in Twin Cities, jobs will be lost in rural Minnesota. Our jobs. We need to protect our jobs and our local communities, and we need our elected officials to do the same. Thank you.
All right, let's hear for Robbie and Beth. Thanks for coming to the top and speaking. I think the nice thing I'm going to say about Beth, too, is she's going to be emceeing the event next year. Okay, I'd like to, is Chairman Jensvold here? There he is. I'd like to introduce Chairman Kevin Jensvold, Upper Sioux, and he's going to bring up another employee, Richard Hermanson. Is he here too? Okay, Chairman Kevin Jensvold from Upper Sioux. Let's hear for Chairman Jensvold.
It's good to see everybody here today on this awesome and wonderful day. My name is Kevin Jensvold. I'm the tribal chairman for the Yellow Medicine Lakota of the Upper Sioux community in western Minnesota. 484 tribal members. Our community is responsible for 296 non-tribal employees who depend upon, directly and indirectly, our gaming enterprise. One of the teachings of our people that I was reminded of as I was standing back there is to stand up, they said, takes the utmost bravery and the greatest of courage. And they say that because when you stand up, you never know if you're going to stand alone. By looking out there today at all of these umbrellas, I'm very encouraged and enthused and honored to know that we're not going to stand alone today. I was also told by a U.S. Congressman one time, when he came to our tribal lands, he said, "Tell me what you need." He said, "I can't help you if I don't know what you want." Again, I'm honored to say that those people in the building behind you, the decision makers, I should say behind me, can look out those doors and understand what we want today, and that's for us as tribal nations to stand together with our employees to protect your jobs. Certain decision makers, in my opinion, try to make it an us versus them scenario. I have to look at it from the perspective, it's not about us, it's not about them, but it's about you wonderful employees who will stand up, be brave and courageous to protect your jobs and your families and your communities that you live in. Because of that, I'm grateful to each and every one of you. This young man standing next to me, he was asked by MIGA to testify on behalf of all of the workers who depend upon our respective tribal nations, to say that his life and his livelihood matter not only to him, his family, but his community. And he was asked to testify today, but they canceled the hearing. But Mr. McCarthy says that his letter that he had sent to the MIGA website was very compelling. So I just want to introduce to you Richard Hermanson. He's a surveillance assistant director for our Prairie's Edge, and he's been with us for over 10 years, and I don't know how many more. But he's here today to say that he matters, to give a face to each and every one of you on behalf of our tribe and all of the other tribes. He's an example of what we need to fight for. So I'm going to give Richard this for just a little bit. Maybe he wants to talk.
Thank you, Chairman Russell. I'm 47 years old. I live in a small west central town called Boyd. I work at Prairie Edge Casino Hotel Resort in Granite Falls under the authority of the Upper Sioux community. This is 23 miles east from where I live. I've worked here now for the Upper Sioux community, going on 18 years in the surveillance department. I have physical disabilities that prevent me from working at most places. And back in 1993, then Firefly Creek Casino, they took me under their wings, and I have been there ever since. They have always treated me with respect, fairness, and given me the opportunity for advancement within the surveillance department. With the introduction of this casino and the expansion of gaming bill, to me, is nothing short of strong-arm tactics by some of our government officials. And again, to take over something that we as a country gave the Native Americans, which they have earned and deserved. The initiating of casinos and casino expansions would greatly impact us in rural Minnesota, economically and medically, with regards to the medical insurance packages we currently have at Prairie's Edge. This is just to name a couple areas. Prairie's Edge Casino Resort is the biggest employer in our area, and the introduction of any casino and expansion of gaming would take dollars away from all the people in this area. Other Native American run casinos, the employees, the towns, and Native American communities. This idea of casinos or expansion of gambling will help in some ways solve our state's deficit is, to me, ridiculous. If it would even go towards that. This type of expansion does not work. It hasn't for many of the states in the country that have tried it, and they have failed. The only thing it does is take away dollars from the Native American communities, the businesses in and around the area, and the employees that work at their casinos. To me, this is an outrage. With the expansion of gambling in Minnesota, it would affect people's jobs, their livelihood, and their neighboring businesses. And I know personally I can't afford to try and get another job with the same financial effects and with the same associated benefit packages that I currently have. And I know that I am not alone in seeing that. You have to oppose this bill now. Otherwise you will be affecting thousands and thousands of people negatively and turn people's lives upside down. And for some of these people, it will be to the